Hey everybody, it's Tyler Austin. Thank you so much for watching. So today I'm going to be talking about strength training during a pre-deployment workup. Obviously, pre-deployment workups can be challenging on multiple fronts of your life, simply due to the scheduling and the time demand of the workup, but also due to like family obligations and whatnot, because you are going to be deploying in the near future. So you're probably looking to spend as much time with your family before then. So as a result, it's very, very time demanding and doesn't leave a lot of time to dedicate to your strength training. So this obviously presents quite a challenge for your strength training, and it can be done successfully as long as you have proper programming, and especially you have the guidance of a good, competent coach. It certainly can be done. However, you are going to have to prioritize, and there's really just no way around it due to the time limitations. So what does strength training look like during a pre-deployment workup? Well, generally it's going to be pretty high intensity and low volume, and it's going to be focusing on the primary 4 lifts. Your time is limited, so you have to prioritize, and you have to prioritize on those exercises that have the biggest bang for your buck. And that's going to be the squat, deadlift, overhead press, and the bench press. And you're not going to have the time to go into the gym and do those exercises with with multiple top sets, and then back off and do a bunch of supplemental and assistance exercises. You're not going to have the time to do that. So you're going to have to go into the gym and work up typically to a single heavy top set for each of those exercises. Again, it's generally not as much work as you would like to do in the gym. However, your time is very limited, and you have to prioritize, and you have to prioritize on those big 4 lifts and do them heavy. Now, in terms of your weekly training frequency and schedule, typically it's going to be low frequency, so you're going to be looking at around like a 2-day schedule. And what that would look like is each day you're going to work up to a heavy top set in both a lower and upper body movement. So for example, let's say Monday you work up to a heavy top set in the squat and the bench press, and then Thursday you work up to a heavy top set in the deadlift and overhead press, for example. Now, if the workup is really crazy and your schedule is really tight, you might even have to go to a 1-day schedule. Now, some people have had really good success by breaking it up and just going to the gym and picking a single one of those exercises and going to the gym and working up to a heavy top set with any time that they can find. So like, for example, Monday, they find they have like 20 minutes of free time to go to the gym. They'll go to the gym and work up to a single top heavy set in the squat. And then let's say Tuesday, they have another 20 minutes of free time. They'll go off and work up to a heavy top set in the overhead press, and they'll do the same for the deadlift and the bench press throughout the week. And some people have had really good success with that, especially when the workup is really intense and the scheduling is just all over the place. So that's certainly an option too. No matter how your weekly training is set up, it has to be flexible, not only with the scheduling, but with your performance expectations in the gym. Because at the end of the day, workups are fairly physically demanding, so they are going to have an effect on your performance in the gym, and don't think otherwise. If you think that it's not going to affect your performance in the gym, you're wrong. If you go in today to, work up to a heavy top set of 5 in the deadlift, but the day before you spent all day climbing ladders, doing VBSS drills, that is going to have an effect on your training, and don't think otherwise. So you're probably not going to be able to do as much weight as you could as if you were fresh. And that's just the reality of the situation, and you have to accept that. So you have to be flexible on that front. So it's going to be very hard to build and pre-plan an entire cycle during a workup, simply due to the scheduling issues and the performance issues that you're going to see in the gym. Now, with that being said, should you expect to build strength during a workup? Well, that's going to depend on your level of training and advancement. If you're a novice and you're fairly new to barbell training, yeah, you probably can build strength during a workup. If you are more experienced and more advanced, you're probably going to be looking at more or less maintaining as much strength as you can during the workup. Now, in terms of like periodization or sets and reps or whatever, that's going to depend quite a bit on your scheduling and how crazy the workup is. Can we periodize like we normally would, like going from 8s for a few weeks to 5s, 3s, doubles, etc.? Again, that's going to depend on your schedule. If you have a fairly concrete schedule and you are able to have pre-planned days where you can go into the gym and train, that's a possibility, certainly. Now, if the workup is really crazy and your schedule is all over the place and it just goes from week to week on what days and what times you have to train and all that, that's going to be a lot more difficult. And typically with people like that who are, again, on a really intense workup schedule like that, generally speaking, I'll just have them go into the gym and work up to a heavy set of 5 for those lifts for what they can do for that day. And that's it. We won't try to periodize and certainly not really try to pre-plan a schedule and a cycle under those circumstances of that really, really intense workup. So yeah, that's what your pre-deployment workup strength training is going to look like. It's going to be generally high intensity, low volume, focused on the primary 4 lifts. Again, the squat, deadlift, overhead press, bench press. Generally, it's going to be pretty low frequency, again, just due to time constraints, and it has to be flexible due to the scheduling demands and the performance fluctuations that you are going to see due to the external stresses and the physical demands of the workup training itself. So yeah, that's what workup strength training looks like. Kind of in a nutshell. Obviously, it's going to be very individualized depending on what the workup looks like and for the individual person, of course. But 30,000-foot view, that's what it looks like. So I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Please like, subscribe, share, depending on where you're watching this. If you would be interested in getting help with your strength training, I offer highly effective and personalized online coaching, and I'd be more than happy to help you. I'll have a link down in the description below if you're interested. I would be more than happy to set something up and help you along your strength journey. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tyler Austin, and I hope to see you under the bar.